So, Brandon and I tomorrow are live streaming a wedding. So that's what I am packing all of this stuff up for. Yeah, I'll tell you about what we packed. I pretty much have everything together. This is usually when I just kind of sit and stare at it until I remember all the things that I forgot. Usually there's a couple. I already thought of one. Be right back. Ethernet cables, 100 foot. I brought 3 of them just because I am not really sure how far we're gonna have to run it. I know this is gonna be outside, so it could be anything. That's why I have this huge cable bin. Brought a bunch of SDIs, a bunch of power, enough that if it is long cable runs, we should be fine. So our main switcher is going to be this guy, which is the ATEM Television Studio HD. Our cameras, these Blackmagic Studio Camera 4Ks. We also, the reason for bringing a lot of SDI is because we actually run 2 lines to each camera. One for control and one for the feed. So we got our comms, we have 2 tripods, we have lenses, a table, 2 laptops, in here a display, 1 laptop for control, 1 laptop for Pro Presenter / Zoom. Actually, we're going to YouTube. That's why we are bringing the ATEM Mini ISO, so we can just stream straight to YouTube from this. I'll probably remember some more things that I forgot tonight, but right now I'm just going to pack all this stuff up, and then we'll see you on site.
Yeah, we need more commenters to give us questions so that when on our drives, we can be answering these questions. So, yeah. And when you're limited on space, like this is what you do. Like you need to maximize your current resources. In our case, one of our biggest limited resources is space. Although on camera, every single person who's been in our studio and has seen it on camera, meaning like we pitch it to them, they're on a Zoom call with us on a sales meeting, we pitch it to them, they're like, wow, this stage looks so big, and we're laughing inside, and we're like, yeah, it looks really big on camera.
4 TVs and black draped behind.
Yeah.
No, we never turn the music down.
Yeah, well, hopefully they couldn't hear the music too much, or this is all a waste. It'll be a good learning experience. But in order to get, a super professional, flexible set, you need space.
There are ways to fake it, which is a lot of what we do.
We're really good at faking.
But you don't want to have to fake it.
Yeah, you don't want to have to fake it, but we're really good at faking. We are much bigger, and our sets are larger, and this, and that's a really good skill to have. But honestly, us faking it is doing it right.
Level,
yeah, it's professional level. Like, we say we fake it, but other people would say, we're super high end or whatever. So,
say it's innovation.
Yeah, they say it's innovation. Anyway, yeah, super future thing. But yeah, we want to grow the freaking company. That'd be awesome. People. This is the nerd version, so get ready. Obviously, you've seen the rack that's been in previous videos before. Let's talk about just how it's all wired up real quick, and I'll try to do this quick. Switcher here, it is controlling the HD Studio, as well as everything's actually networked together through a network switch here, including our internet. So everything is receiving control of everything else, as well as the internet signal. So I can be checking YouTube or whatever website or whatever we're streaming to while we're doing the gig. That's kind of how everything's wired together. Obviously, we have a power strip. That's all intuitive.
So let's talk about the signal here. So 2 cameras coming into the switcher. Both cameras actually have XLRs going into them, and that is receiving 2 different audio inputs. One of them is receiving the DJ, which is the mics. One of them is receiving a shotgun mic sitting on top of the camera over there. And I actually have a third XLR input coming into the switcher, which is a speaker with a microphone all the way down there. We were not in charge of audio, but we need to obviously capture all the audio that is around so we can stream it. By individually bringing in all of these signals, I can decide what I want to be on the stream, raise the volumes, lowers the volumes of all those audio signals. So having them all separated is super helpful. Being able to bring them all through the cameras via SDI, even better, less cables that we had to run, and I'm not running an external audio mixer, just the mixer that's in the HD studio here. That's it for audio. Okay, let's talk about the sources. 2 cameras plus ProPresenter running a slideshow. Okay, ProPresenter is sitting over here. That's obviously the switcher computer. I got my multi-views here, and then the 2 cameras are running SDI. We run SDI in 2 directions per camera because we like to be able to control, things like the autofocus or the focus, the iris, the gains, any really coloring that we want to be doing, we can affect all that from here, so the cameraman just has to focus on what he's looking at, not necessarily making sure everything's like perfect in terms of color correction, matching the other cameras, where the sun is moving. So things like that is super helpful to be able to control from here versus having a cameraman try to jump between 2 different cameras. So that's SDI. Let's talk about this rack here. I'm not using the web presenter at all. I'm actually running an output, converting it to HDMI, running it into this ATEM Mini here. At first we plugged this into the Ethernet, so not only to get control, but to stream straight from the ATEM Mini Pro ISO to YouTube. Ended up having some difficulties there. It didn't really want to connect to YouTube. It wasn't consistent, so we said, no problem. Let's just run a USB-C cable out of this guy into our computer here and run it into OBS as a webcam, a 1080p webcam, which note that the web presenter here is only 720. So I could eliminate this altogether, but then I'd only get 720 for my stream, and I kind of want 1920 by 1080. So that's running into here, and then this is going into OBS, and then from there into YouTube. So that's kind of the signal flow here. Not really using an aux out for anything today. I used to use it for another ATEM Mini to be able to like zoom in to different things and have that come into the HD studio switcher as another source. But we have a cameraman today, so we don't have to deal with that. Over here, I got the Stream Deck. This is really just switching my inputs in preview here, and then I have a cut button that I can then change what's going to program. So super simple, really don't have many buttons at all programmed on this thing, but that's just for really quick control, so I'm not having to use the mouse and do everything there. That also allows me, if I have my switcher controlled here, I can then go to something like audio or my cameras here, and that way I always have at a finger's reach the ability to switch between a different input. You never know, it's live, so I always need to be switching depending on what's happening. A guy could come stand up in front of the camera and I need to switch to the other camera. That's again why we run 2 cameras from different angles, things like that. So that's pretty much this setup here. Decently small setup for us, honestly. This is not a large setup, at least not for us. And then obviously I'm gonna be able to talk to my camera guy here with headsets. These ones are by EarTech, I believe, the Ultra Light. Super simple. This is mute, this is unmute, and there's no body pack. It's just wear it on your head. It has great range, especially line of sight. So super happy with these. And then I guess the other thing is the Mophie, which is providing our internet today. Decent, not in love with it. I haven't found a hotspot I actually love. What's great about it though, obviously it's got pretty decent sized antennas, but it has 4 Ethernet out ports and an Ethernet in port. So that way if I was at a venue, I could run Ethernet into it and it would decide which internet it's actually using, cellular or wired. And then it's its own little switch there. I could eliminate this guy here if I really wanted to. It's great backup having both, but I like running a physical switch just to keep things clean. And you know, if something were to happen somewhere, if I drop something, this and that, I like having backups. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Somewhat simple, some would say complicated. Headphones, I usually run just earbuds here so I can wear one earbud and be talking to the camera guy at the same time. And then I just have another one set up here just so I can, at some point during the day, monitor what the live stream is hearing and make sure it's clean and things like that. So that is our setup here, and we're probably getting pretty close. I think we got maybe an hour till the ceremony actually starts. So we're gonna get back, just do our final little checks, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks.